Stage 8 and 11, Elementaita, Lake Elementaita, just over to our left as you're looking at it. A soda lake with many flamingos on it. Very interesting. I stopped for a quick glance and got a tiny wee bit of film we may incorporate. However, what was this stage like? 16 kilometres, Elementaita, used twice on the Saturday, as we've said, and the surface is actually generally quite firm. There are soft places, very short soft places, very little rock, but lots of volcanic schist, which is basically rocks that have landed here from an erupting volcano or volcanic cone, of which there are many around, and they've been cleared out the way to make the road over the years. But the last 2 or 3 kilometres of this were actually unbelievably quick, proper quick. Even I was doing 80 or 90 kph with a Land Cruiser, until of course I found the usual little bit of a kick. Not having had pace notes and still not making pace notes, but I'd remember the next time, believe me, yeah, it was a proper hit. However, the stage starts very, very bumpy. The first 5-6 kilometres, very, very bumpy. Some small cuts, you could see the drivers over the grass, actually avoiding the worst of the deviations in the surface, finding a way around it. So they're planning that even with the World Rally cars. I guess it's a question of speed. They'll get more speed across it. This is going to be a great test. I believe the drivers quite like the stage. There's nothing in here not to like. It's a great test. The bumpiness, honestly, I think you could get away with this even on a European rally. It's fine. And a great test. Very, very interesting, and a lovely vista. Well, here we are at the stop line of Soy Sambu stage. Quite a significant test. I nearly didn't bother visiting this stage, and I'm seriously glad I did. This stage happens within about a 4 kilometre square area in an estate. 2 river crossings, multiple rockeries, very short but multiple rockeries, and of course the obligatory blast out over the veldt as we have here. There are a few places where the cars are actually flying 2 or 3 kilometres in total, but never in much more than about a kilometre and a half stretch. It happens 3 or 4 times. Incredibly quick and really nice, smooth, the high speed. And then back to incredibly twisty through trees and bushes, and then turn one corner out of a nice fast bit, but in the bushes, and you're up into a rockery. Really, really nasty, but only 100 metres. And going up those, so a 90-degree corner, up that hill, you could destroy your tyres in that 100 metres. First, second, probably third. Wow, I think you need to not spin your tyres. You've got to preserve them. Generally speaking, not abrasive though. I mean, that is an outlier for every stage so far. This is just a dirt and grass road nearly all the way through, apart from a couple of rockeries. Even when we're in the bushes, the road is quite nice like this, but there are some phenomenally bumpy sections in here, and I mean really bumpy for a World Rally car, but there's quite slow sections, so it's not going to upset the car catastrophically, but they're so tight and twisty. I could hardly even spot the road over the bonnet of the Land Cruiser I'm in, up and down and around and about. Very, very tricky indeed, but let's see what it brings. I am so excited that I came to see this stage. There's rocks at the side of the road occasionally in here, but there's lots of sort of little cuts. So the drivers will feel a little bit at home in that respect. But by Jove, this is another stage that's seriously going to work them really, really, really hard. First, second, third, second, first, second, third, maybe fourth, fifth, sixth, and then right back down the box again. A real tough one. The stage here has been phenomenal. 31 kilometres, but for a couple of metres. It started off on the plains, very high speed, very classic, although narrow road, rather like this. Now we can see this here. I'll just walk into it so you can see it. This is a mixture of earth and this volcanic dust that we've talked about. It seems to have stood up to the passage very well. In places there were washaways where the water has gathered and mud holes have appeared. But most importantly, the last few kilometres of this stage, we have seen the proper classic Safari Rally rockery. Wow, I haven't seen on those for very many years. really, really rough, impossibly rough. You have to keep the car centre of the road, almost impossible with the width of the rally car to avoid the rocks on either side. And it's almost like little rock gates that you have to go through the middle of. Solid things with shards of and shafts of little sharp-edged rock sticking right out. So incredibly tough. This will be a massive test of endurance. Now the first proper stage 2 and stage 4, Chewy and Osarian, they're going to be really strong tests, and they're going to be rough. Nothing like we saw in the last few kilometres of this. That is car breaking stuff. I mean, I was of the opinion, why even bother doing this? Why not just drive the car to the scrap merch and get them to crush it? That's what it felt like. Now, it wasn't that bad because it wasn't that long. I was thinking it was going to last another 7 or 8 kilometres. It only lasted 2 or 3 tops. But incredibly testing. And really, you are just running the car through almost like a road section carefully in those sections. Judgment for the drivers is going to be everything in here. How do they handle that? That is a completely alien concept. I think doing anything else, I don't see any option if you do anything else that you're just going to, the risk of damaging the car is so high. Massive rocks, suspension off. We know the last national, the rally that went through here, 5 cars retired in that section alone. Wow. Knocked suspension clean off the R5 cars. Skodas, Fords, more Skodas I think. Just completely devastated the field. So this is going to be a bit of a teller. How to manage it? Well, you'll be giving away 30, 40, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes in a section like that to someone that's going fast. But I don't see that going fast would be survivable. But these guys are good. Our drivers are brilliant. So, well, how they play it, that's up to them. It's their call. How they manage it, how they survive it, only time will tell. And that's only a few days away now. Getting more excited by every stage that passes.